That's real. I can make a series of this. This is me when I leave the house. I go out there and I just am psyoped. The rest of you are just living in this. How are you doing that? How are you living in this and not seeing it? Home Depot. Home Depot. Why is Home Depot playing a bunch of female empowerment, Katy Perry, I Will Rise Above, Pink pop songs? Why is that happening? Why do you walk through Home Depot and all of the employees are females who just stand there hoping you won't ask them a question? Is that normal? Does that make sense? Do I have to spell that out to you? Does that make any sense at all? Does that make any sense at all? Does that make any sense to anybody? It's a psyop. It's demoralization. It's emasculation. They want you to walk into a traditionally male environment and be bombarded with estrogen until you don't know what's real anymore. These are big enough, you know. That's the cool thing about a monopoligarchy. Monopoligarchy? There's a word for it. Oligopoly. What the cool thing about this is once you have BlackRock control of everything, right? And you just have this, you have your Home Depot and your Lowe's, you have your Coke and your Pepsi, you have your IBM and your Mac, and you just have everything that's all pervasive. It's all under the control of a singular company that wants to demoralize and destroy you because it's owned by the Amish and they hate you, literally hate you in a way that you've never felt. You've never hated anybody like this. And they see you as an animal. And so you have this oligopic control. And so all of a sudden, these things which your silly little mind sees as, oh, I'm going to the store. It's just a store. It's just a store that wants to make money. This is a capitalist society. It's just a store that wants to make money. You can't comprehend the fact that this is funneling information and ideas into you. You can't understand the fact that this is a vehicle for propaganda and programming. You can't see it. No, it's just Home Depot. I'm just buying lumber. There's nothing else to it. No, there is something else to it. They top-down control whether you are supposed to hire a bunch of 16-year-old girls to stand around hoping you don't ask them a question. They decide what plays over the speakers. Everything is a vehicle for your demoralization when they own these companies. So you go to McDonald's, and what happens? McDonald's turns from this beautiful play place to a gray box. Do you think that's by accident? Oh, that's just the design choice of the modern era. People are working towards this new sort of, sleeker, simpler design philosophy. No! It's ugly! It's ugly. And it's ugly on purpose. So, I have sympathy for the ortho bros. Am I an ortho bro? I'm an artist. And I'm an idiot. Like that's really I'm not smart enough to be an ortho bro. I can't sit there and argue. I actually am really uncomfortable arguing. I'm great at going on tirades, but the second I'm pushed against even a little bit, I crumble. I've always been like that. I'm the most gaslightable person on the planet. There's something really wrong with me. There's something wrong with me. Okay? There's something wrong with me. Do you understand? Let's go 77. No. So yeah, I don't know Jim Bob. I don't know Andrew Wilson. I don't know Jay Dyer. I've criticized all of them, but I do watch all of them as well. Andrew Wilson, not so much, because what am I, just going to sit around watching half-naked girls argue with a grown man? It's just, I have to preserve my eyes, you know? I have to preserve myself. It's hard out here, you know? A friend asked me, how do you stop masturbating? And I say, treat that thing like plutonium or depleted uranium. That thing can go off at the drop of a dime, and you have to treat it like that. You have to say, this thing is crazy. This thing I got between my legs is crazy, and I have to treat it as such. And just take precautions. You would take precautions if you were handling depleted uranium. Depleted uranium? I think so. If I'm wrong, just go with it. You would take precautions if you were handling depleted uranium. Take precautions with your male genitals. Just say, I know if I bump into that, it's going to explode. I know if I look at that, this, you know, like, take it seriously. And that's, that definitely helps. How did I get on this subject? A black person will punch me in the face before I'll punch a black person in the face. Every time. Every time, baby. Matter of fact, I feel like that's how I go. As like I'm the fat white guy on camera who says the N-word to a black guy and gets punched so hard that he hits the concrete and dies immediately. I feel like that's how I'm gonna die. I'm pretty sure. I've been thinking about it. I'm pretty sure that's how I die. Is the fat white guy that gets knocked out by like a black teenager. And everybody's like, yo! It's just filming me and I'm just dead. Not for something honorable. Martyrdom would be wasted on me. I'm a stinking pile of garbage. I'm gonna die by getting knocked out by a 16-year-old black kid, and then everybody filming me, and everyone in the comment section is gonna say that racist POS deserved it, and the country's gonna unite. The country's going to put aside their differences and all agree that I deserve to get knocked out. That's how I see myself. I see myself, the fat white, 45, I'd say maybe 4 more years, gets into a situation where he still feels like he has to act tough, but he's just way in over his head and he knows it. And he can feel it. Like this is what's gonna happen. Some little black kid's gonna annoy the crap out of me. Some black teenager's gonna say something, and I'm gonna say, what you little, I'm gonna say something to him, right? And they'll be like, what'd you say? And I'll be like, you know what? I'll take it a step further and I'll just call him the N-word with a hard R, just straight up. Be like, you racist. I'll be like, yeah, you right, I'm racist. The hell you gonna do about it? And then all of a sudden he'll square up and I'll lose heart. I'll lose heart. And that's when I lose. If I lose heart, I lose. You can't lose heart. That's everything. It's all about heart. When it comes to fighting a 16-year-old black, it's all about heart. I'm just tired. So, but I'm gonna lose heart. Someone's gonna hit me, and I'm gonna all of a sudden, oh, I feel it. I feel it. Oh, God have mercy. I'm gonna lose heart, and then he's gonna just knock me out. And when I fall, I'm gonna hit my head on like a rock, and I'm just gonna die right there. And everybody gonna be like, yo! And then the comment section's gonna say, he deserved it. I hate him. Look at his his butt sticking out. I'll poop my pants. This is how I'm gonna die. A 16-year-old black that's half the size of me is going to knock me out. I'm going to fall over, crack my head open, poop my pants. It's all gonna be on camera. They're gonna post it online, and everyone, including, you know, people on the right, are gonna say he deserved it. He's a bad white. Don't ever leave me. Did you hear me fart inside of my body? You guys ever do that? Speaking of smelly black guys. Did you guys ever, you're like at a thing and you don't want to fart? You guys ever not want to fart? And then your body starts just farting inside of you? You know what I mean? Does that count? You could be like, my stomach's growling. But you know the difference. Can they hear the difference? Can they hear that you're just farting inside of yourself? Have you ever... Can people tell? Because if that ever happens to me, I'm like, oh, my stomach is growling. But it's not growling. It's just kind of farting around. My farts are like, oh, you're not going to let us out? Okay, I'm going to fart in. I'm going to fart up this way. Like little fart snakes moving around your body. What's that all about? What do you do? Is that the same as farting? Is that at the same level as a fart? Like if you do that in front of a girl, did you just fart in front of her? There's no word for internal farts. Your priest would be better for this than me. But he did create us in ignorance. Wasn't that the point of forbidding the fruit of the tree of knowledge? Okay, I've heard it said from saints that this, and again, I'm not a theologian and I'm not a priest and I'm not an authority on this, but I've heard it said from saints that it wasn't necessarily that we weren't ever supposed to take the fruit, but weren't supposed to at that point. We weren't yet ready to. 1. 2, if there wasn't something he told us not to do, then free will would be nothing. Free will wouldn't be anything. It's like a child. You can't just like give a child, I don't know. What am I, you don't just let a child drive a car, you know? They're going to crash, they're going to die, they're going to hurt themselves, they're going to hurt others. We are operating within the realm of the fallen world. We don't understand the heights of heaven. And so when we're made, it's not as, who knows if it's a static environment? Who knows if there's not infinite progression even within the kingdom of heaven, you know? St. Maximus the Confessor says that we still have free will even in heaven, just the will to choose multiple goods. So growth may in fact be an eternal thing. So you can't count out the fact that these things weren't meant for us at this time. I'm not saying that's definitely true, but saints have said that these things weren't meant for us at this time. But if God didn't tell us, God told us one thing not to do. Nice, yeah. God gave us one thing not to do. It's just one thing. There's only one. There's one. Infinity everything. One thing don't do. And if he didn't give us that, then our free will would be nothing. What's crazy is that we did. That's like a one. Who can imagine the odds? I think what we're dealing with as humans is a great tragedy that could have been avoided. And we are working that out, and God is in the process of restoring us to him. But it's not a simple process, because we pushed him away. And he can't force us to come back to him. He could, but it would violate the entire reason he made us. All right. So again, you said you're Orthodox, so you should talk to your priest about this. But I hope I could help in some way, even though I'm just a dumb guy. Just a dumb guy. It's hard for me to get in a good mental place so that I can do this. And you're like, it's just streaming. Well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm like this. You're like that? Good for you. I'm like this over here. So when you know I'm about to do a stream, when I'm getting myself mentally ready, when you saw how bad I was yesterday, I did a bad show yesterday. People say it was okay. I feel like it was bad. And I couldn't sleep. I spent the whole day thinking about it. It just kept playing it over and over again in my head, watching it. What did you do? What the hell is wrong with you? I woke up in the middle of the night thinking about it. I felt like I was trapped in a box. I woke up this morning and I couldn't feel the light of God anymore. That's how much this show affected me. My show on Monday, I did such a bad job that I was surrounded by demons. But yeah, go ahead and throw me off my game just a few minutes before I start streaming by telling me, nigga, we ain't got no money. I know we ain't got money. My dog headbutted me like 2 days ago. We were having fun and he headbutted me right here. And it hurt so bad. I sat there and I held my head and I tried to keep my composure and I screamed. It hurt so bad. I literally was like, ah! I don't know what this dog's head is made out of, but it felt like I got hit in the head with a ball peen hammer. That's what it felt like. It felt like somebody just went, bah! Right in my eyebrow. I got a little worried. This dude's going to look at me different. You know, he's a pack animal. He sees me as the alpha. But after that, he's like, do I got to listen to this guy? Nah, he's good. He was really worried. He didn't know what happened. I'm like, did that not hurt you too? How did that not hurt you? Maria, my wife, she said that it happened to her once and she almost threw up. His head is so hard. She said she almost passed out. She almost threw up and she almost passed out. I don't know if I almost passed out, but whatever was keeping me present, you know, I don't know. But this dog, man, this dog he's crazy, man. He's got a head of iron, 1,000 PSI bite. It's crazy. But stuff like that, you know, that happens and you're like, oof. Yo, reality is visceral. You really feel everything, you know? Are you ready? And I think about martyrdom. I think about how I hope to die a martyr. But who am I? I'm a scumbag. I'm not going to die a martyr. I wish. What an honor. But it's not, you know, I'll die because of the stuff I've said about black people on my show. You know? That's not martyrdom. Doesn't count. That's the song.
Feel sad? Do you feel sober? Do you feel bitter? Do you feel broken? Do you feel good? Your life was stolen. They killed your kids, but it's not over.
Pick
your shield and your sword up. Wear your cross and your armor. Take your shield and your sword up. Wear your cross and your armor.
Drive that rabble back out to the leaks, clean streets. That chatter stops quick when they see these people eat their tailor-made clothes. Lock them inside, make them reap what they sow. Drive that rabble back out to the leaks, clean streets. That chatter stops quick when they see these people eat their tailor-made clothes. Lock them inside, make them reap what they sow.
Watch us make plans. Watch us make plans with the Bible in our hands. Watch us make plans. Watch us make plans. Watch us make plans with a blicky in our hands. Watch us make plans. Watch us make plans. Watch us. Watch.
You guys should buy this album. Welcome to the show. How lucky for you. How lucky for you. What a wonderful day for you that you get to watch this show. You get to participate in the greatest show on earth. I was listening to speeches from this guy with a mustache who people say is really bad. And, boy, they were inspiring. They just were. What do you want me to say? They were so beautiful. He was talking about how, like, the art, the filth they're pushing, it doesn't resonate with us. It doesn't resonate with our souls. It has nothing to do with us. We've checked out. And it's like, whoa, what? Like, that's so true. It sounds like how I talk. Celebrating ugliness all around us. What do I have to do with any of it? I just feel like I have nothing to do with any. What do I have to do with this? Who's this for? It's not for the American people. It doesn't speak to our souls. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I got what he was saying in that, and I was like, wow, this guy's spitting. This guy's spitting. Another cool things that I could have said instead of that. But I don't know. I don't remember his name. I just remember he has a mustache. Anyway. It really inspired me. I found his speeches really inspirational. And I think about like the two paths. I think about the two paths. The two paths are Egon Schiele. There's two Austrian painters in every young man's mind. Egon Schiele and this other guy with a mustache. I can't remember his name. But in every person. You can go both. Egon Schiele ended up making all sorts of pornographic content and being like kind of like rapey and doing weird stuff, and eventually calling himself like a god and calling himself the greatest artist ever. And just like, you can go that direction. You can be that Austrian painter, or you can be the Austrian painter who believes in beauty and truth and love and cares about his people. That one never, they don't appreciate that one's art. Oh, gee. Sorry. My bad. At the same time, they don't want me to be crazy, because then they can't attack me for what I say. If they just write me off as crazy, then they can't attack me. So they like you to be lucid so that they could say, he meant it, even when I don't. So it's a double-edged sword, kind of a double-edged sword, kind of a double entendre, because one part of them is like, I want him to be crazy so I can dismiss what he says. And another part of him is like, I don't want him to be crazy so that I can condemn him. So what's up, libs? Welcome back to the show. But also, most of those white artists suck. Why? Because they're trying to ingratiate themselves in the black culture, and they can't authentically be themselves. You want to know what's holding white artists back, Fantano? The same thing that holds you back is this idea that they somehow have to be part of the club, and so they have to play along. Playing along is an artistic expression. You don't become a genius by playing along. But they all feel like they have to, I can't say nigga, I can't say something that'll be perceived as racist, I can't say something that'll be, I have to play along with the rule book given to me by Amish rap producers and, the cult of liberalism, and as long as I play along with that, but that's not true to their heart. Black people out here being true to their heart. It's dumb, but at least it's true to their heart. That's why their music sounds better to you, because it's genuine. Well, my music's genuine. I'm genuinely a Nazi. And I'm better than Kendrick Lamar. I'm better than Tyler, the Creator. I'm better than Tom York. That's the only way you can go, by the way. As a genuine white, the only thing you could do is self-destruction, by the way. There's no hope at all. I feel bad. Why is everything sad? That's our only recourse as white men, is brokenness. That's the only thing they'll allow us to feel. And they'll publicize you feeling it. There you go. Yeah. Sing about how empty you feel and how meaningless everything is, and how you're racked with a guilt you can't explain, and how it's just sing about nihilism. I want your music to be the soundtrack to somebody's suicide. We're okay with that. I'm the greatest artist of my generation, and nobody knows about me because of you, Fantano. Why don't you love me? Why don't you love me, Anthony? You're gonna make me cry. I'm gonna kill myself, Fantano. It's your fault. Just kidding. I would never do that to you, Fantony. With your colorful hat. Who'd you give a 10 review to? I don't care. All I know is my forehead's shiny and you're not listening to my music. Let me unshiny my forehead real quick. It's done. This album's done. I've mastered it, kinda. I'm never going to let anybody else master it, and I'm not mastering it. Father, we found out last week that everyone who's ever mastered my album has died prematurely, so now I'm terrified to let anybody master my albums. Not joking. Really dark. Don't know how to deal with it. Thinking about it a lot. All right. Back to this. All right. Back to the show. All right. Oh, well, I guess I got to listen to this song at least once to see if it's even good. Look, if it sounds corny, it's because your heart is in the wrong place, or because I didn't finish it yet, and I know it, and it was a joke. I'm cool, and people. Okay, I'm putting the glasses back on. This is a really serious song. Should I play this in the background? Is it good or bad? Is it good or bad? What is it, entertainment? What's it, a show? What's it, just me talking? Do I have to look at the screen? What if I don't? What if I don't look at the screen? What if I don't say words? How would what if I don't look at the screen and I don't say words?
When we're humble, when we're humble, he is I'm prideful to the core, and I cannot hear a word. So I return to his church again and ask if I'm still here. Do my sins keep me from the gifts that you give to us?
This is too much. This is impossible. This is insane. This is a psychotic thing. What we've done is achieved a state of psychosis live on the air. Here it is. Oh, wait, I could do a shorter version. Look at this.
Republicans who come to me and say, that's wrong what AIPAC is doing to you. Let me talk to my AIPAC person. By the way, everybody but me has an AIPAC person.
What does that mean, an AIPAC person?
It's like your babysitter, your AIPAC babysitter, who is always talking to you for AIPAC. They're probably a constituent in your district, but they are, firmly embedded in AIPAC. And
every member has something like this?
I don't know how it works on the Democrat side, but that's how it works on the Republican side. And when they come to DC, you go have lunch with them, and they've got your cell number, and you have conversations with them. So I've had
handlers.
That's absolutely crazy.
These people have handlers. They have Amish handlers.
I've had 4 members of Congress say, I'll talk to my AIPAC person. And it's literally what we call them, my AIPAC guy. I'll talk to my AIPAC guy and see if I can get him to, dial those ads back.
Why have I never heard this before?
It doesn't benefit anybody. Why would they want to tell their constituents that they've basically got a buddy system with somebody who's representing a foreign country? It doesn't benefit the congressman for people to know that, so they're not going to tell you that.
Long and short of it.
With all my sources, and in this case I use a video that I made myself, and that's not what I'm claiming. We're talking about Israel here, and these are just some of the most obvious ones. First off, that AIPAC has purchased the seats of 90% of our Congress, give or take. I made a whole thread with all my sources, and in this case I used a video that I made myself where I cited a whole bunch of sources about AIPAC and about JFK trying to get them to register as a foreign agent the months before he got shot, and then they never registered.
But we're all just people, man, so what does it matter if people who don't think we're all just people run our country? We're all the same, man. Dude, we're all the same, man. So what does it matter if people who think we're animals run our country? We're all the same. I've been working on a little song. You want to hear it? It's like a limerick type thing. I think this could be like a thing, like a tavern song, like an old English tavern song. Here, listen.
Oh, my war-torn soldier on his 7th tour. Every time he comes home is worse than before. Well, if brother, Well, if you're sick, brother, I've got the cure. If you blank the blankish bankers, there'll be no more war.
If you blank the blankish bankers, there'll be no more wars. If you blank the blankish bankers, there'll be no more wars. If you blank the blankish bankers, there'll be no more wars. If you blank the blankish bankers, there'll be no more wars. Let's be that kind of white. Can we just return to that? Whatever that is? That's fire. We could do some of that. So I'm working on that. I'm working that out. But you guys can take that and run with it. The chorus is, if we blank the blankish bankers, there'll be no more wars. There'll. You ever heard of it? It's a word. The word's called there'll. Does it sound fun to say? Say it with me. One time. 3, 2, 1. There'll. This is like Dora the Explorer for white guys. Ready? There'll. How many syllables is that? With a word like there'll, syllables no longer apply. It's its own thing. It's kind of a goop that rises and falls. There'll. If you blank the blankish bankers, there'll be no more wars. You guys can write your own verses. This is one of those things. We don't need a bunch of copyright lawyers getting in the way of our artistic expression and the invigoration of our people in preparation to reclaim our heritage and our lands from those who spitefully use us, whom we pray for, but nonetheless expel.
I'm putting down my foot again. I'm blowing up.
Finally, my boys are here. Yo, earlier I had a bunch of rude people. Somebody named J.L. Bollinger and somebody named Trent J. Edie. And they were just being mean to me. And it was like, I appreciate your patronage, but shut up. Now I got my peoples back, and this is all I want in my life. I just want it to be clear. Chauncey and Lawrence, this is enough for me. When both of you are here, I'm like, I feel successful. I just want you, I'm not joking at all. I feel like I've made it. I don't care if anybody else is there. I'm happy to do a show for you two. Genuinely. If you're not there, I get mad though. And I'm going to be honest. I like drop subtle hints whenever Chauncey texts me. I'm like, are you watching my show? I can't do this without you, brother. That's not because, I need him, Chauncey be my fan. No, it's because this is like, I need y'all. I don't need y'all, but you know what I mean. I a little bit need y'all. A tiny bit need y'all. I love y'all. I genuinely love y'all. I love you too. Y'all make this worth it. Genuinely. I don't know how much gayer I'm willing to be.
I'm putting down my foot again.
And if you have kids and you raise them in this, and you just sit there and you say, how will I save my children from this? There's a storm outside my house, and it's ravaging everything. How will I save my children? And your kids go, Dad, it's the 90s. You don't get it. And your wife goes, remember you were like this when you were young? You used to rebel too. You used to rebel as well. You used to be Bella the Ball. You used to be Bella's dragon. You used to rebel. Remember? You used to be a little homosexual, remember? You used to celebrate degeneracy as well. Pride. And you say, okay, I guess I'll let the Amish television raise my children. I guess I'll let the storm take my kids. I don't want to be a square. Bye, kids. I love you. Oh, my daughter has an OnlyFans. My daughter has an OnlyFans and my son's transgender. Well, as long as you're happy. Ah! 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 It's like, you know, I don't want to get lost in other people's music because I don't know what they're doing. There could be anything going on in there. Music is a very powerful thing. The only music I know for sure isn't filled with curses is my own.
Half of your family dead from preventable calamities.
All right, welcome to my TED Talk. I deleted all my past streams. Why? Here's why. I think I want to be like Danny Gonzalez. I want to do some real, like, I don't want to be offensive anymore. I want to be real inoffensive. I want to be inoffensive. Just, you know, not everything has to be polemical. Not everything has to be, you know, I don't constantly have to be red pilling everybody. You know, it doesn't need to be race realism and you know, the Amish question. It doesn't need to be that. I can just be a person and we could just have a show and I can be nice and I can add to the fun of the world. This fun world. I can make it even funner. I can be like Danny Gonzalez. And I can make people happy. Right? I can. Right? Right, guys? This doesn't have to be the stream of a 41-year-old man who's lost touch with reality. It doesn't have to be that. I can be a different person. I'm a different person now. I deleted all my I deleted all my live streams and now I'm a different person. Yeah. Yeah, you believe it. I believe it. Look. This is going to be fun from now on. I'm not going to be weird. I'm not going to be racist. I might be sexist. I'm going to be homophobic. And I will be anti-Semitic. There's no way around that. But I'm going to try not to be racist. I love everybody. I pray for my enemies. I pray for all of my enemies. Oh, gosh. I pray for my enemies. I pray for my enemies when they stare me down at the mall. I pray for my enemies when they make fun of me. I pray for my enemies when they blast hip-hop music and stare out their cars right in my eyes and they drive slowly through my neighborhood and make me feel like I'm not a man. I pray for them. I pray for them. I pray for them. I pray for them. I pray for them when they fill the airwaves with the music of Satan, corrupting the youth and turning all the girls into whores and all the boys into whoremongers. I pray for them. I pray for them as they destroy the cities and blame me for it. I pray for them. Because they're not all like that. Come on. We're turning over a new leaf. And the new leaf is, they're not all like that. People come in all shapes and sizes, and you can't judge a book by its cover. Even though that's how you guys ended up at this stream. It's not as if you went to my channel and said, oh, I wonder what he's doing today. No, you saw a thumbnail. The thumbnail made you click it. And now you probably feel like you've been tricked. This isn't what I thought it was going to be, but guess what? You're being silly. It doesn't, whether it's what you thought it was going to be or not, doesn't matter. You have no idea the process that's going on that's making you click one video over another. It's all a bunch of weird images and 7 words, and you just click it and you say, oh, now it's all a meaningless thing. You've lost your mind. There's some weird subconscious process. You're scrolling, looking for something to stare at. None of it's meaningful. So who cares if I clickbaited you? Oh, did you think this was going to be about Dark Souls? Why would it be about Dark Souls? And why? Who cares if it's not about Dark Souls? Who cares about Dark Souls? You know what I mean? Like, who cares? Nope, you click something else. Now it's this. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Sorry, that last one. I apologize for the third oh no. The first 2 I'm proud of. I thought I could keep it going, but I went into like a wild territory. It felt bubbly and wild. You guys want to see how insane? No. Look. This is a new show and I'm going to do it differently. I privated all my old streams. Now we're sipping coffee. Uh-huh. Okay, I'm going to sip this and I'm going to be a good streamer. I'm going to be a person who says nice things. I'm going to be, because I have to represent orthodoxy. Even if you don't know that I'm an Orthodox Christian, it is my job to represent orthodoxy in everything I do. Even though I'm a bad Christian, I want to be a good Christian. And part of being a good Christian is treating everything in your life treating everything in your life like treating every moment of your life as if you are a representation of Christ. It's impossible, but that's what I should be doing. All right, Bill Clinton thumb. And so I want people to see my show, and I want them to say, "Oh, this guy's wholesome." Do you think? Do you guys think I could do that? Do you guys believe in me? Guys, do you think I could do that? Do you think I can be wholesome? I think I am wholesome. Okay, but Danny Gonzalez, man, that guy never offends me. And everything offends me. And I'm far right. Technically. Technically, it's all a sham. It's all a sham. It's all a sham. Sham. Shampoo commercial. But Danny Gonzalez doesn't even offend me. I can't turn on an HBO show because every show they blaspheme Christ or show me a penis or do some gay stuff or do some white people are the most evil thing ever made, or they're always doing something like that, and so that offends me. That offends me in the same way me saying the N-word offends people who are professionally offended. You know what I mean? In fact, it's more. My pain is actually worse because it's based on real things, not on perceived injustices that don't exist. You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean, right? I didn't even say the N-word there. Oh, that's another thing. This show's different now. You're not going to hear me say the N-word on YouTube or anywhere. I'm removing it from my vocabulary. I was saying it in protest. I watched Nick debate a bunch of black people, liberals, and an Asian, but the Asian liked them. And they had a whole conversation about the N-word, and there was two positions that made me think. First was the silly one. The lady at the top left was like, the only white people that say that word are either people that are trying to prove they're down or people who are trying to be edgy. And I was like, well, you said that, but that doesn't mean it's true, because I am of a third variety. I say it in protest because I've seen endless videos of white people getting beaten up and brutally assaulted because they might have said the N-word, or they did say the N-word. And that is grounds for physical assault, for concussing, for sending to the hospital, for brutally assaulting someone. That's fine. You can just do that. And that strikes me as insane. Because, as Nick said, the only other person that you have in history, you've had rules like this, is God. Blasphemy laws. And it's like, that's kind of one of those things where your mind is blown. You're like, yeah, we're not allowed to blaspheme black people. And then you start thinking, the wheels start turning. You start thinking, boy, they're kind of holding themselves as gods in society. They're the arbiters of what you can and cannot do under threat of violence. They've kind of set up their own enforcement program. Whereas if they don't approve of what you're doing, they can just physically assault you or kill you. And we've all just accepted this as normal. And it's not normal. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's insane. And so that's why I always say it, because I'm just not going to play that. You know, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to play that game. Now, would I say it in front of somebody? I mean, I have many times, but no, I don't want to anymore because I don't want to get hurt. And I'm not going to say it at all. So it's worked. The campaign of endless violence has silenced me once and for all. No, that's not why I stopped. That's not why I'm done saying that word. The reason I'm done saying that word is because I want to represent Christ. And he would never say that. Not because it's some evil word, but because it's like this. It offends people, whether it's true or not, whether their reason for being offended by it is legitimate or not, whether it's just pretense for violence that they wanted to do anyway or not. That's besides the point. It's unnecessary. Everything I say is offensive to non-Christians. When I say homosexuality is evil, that's offensive. When I say women shouldn't have the right to vote, and obviously that's not necessarily a Christian position, but men being the head of the household and women being their helpers, that's Christianity. That's part of Christianity. And I have a very classical view of how men and women should operate. It allows for, sure, all the female astronauts that have saved our lives throughout history, but Also, most women should be at home cleaning and making babies. And I would like to get back to a country where we can facilitate that without starving to death. And everyone would be happier. Everyone. The women would be happier. They wouldn't have to play the how many guys have you slept with in a club and how much of a girl boss are you and how much cocaine can you do in a single night and still not have an orgy, and I don't know, whatever modern women are doing, something like that. Something like sleeping with a bunch of people after getting drunk at a club and then going home and not crying when they wake up in the morning and he's not there. Kind of just like saying, no, I know what I'm doing. What I'm doing makes sense to me. This is empowerment. Waking up in that clothes that you wore the day before at a festival and going to use the porta potty and then a condom comes out of you and being like, did I have sex last night? That sort of thing is empowering and great for women, I'm sure. I'm the weirdo. I'm the crazy person. I can't help myself. There's no way I cannot. I can't be wholesome. I can't do it. I can't be Danny Gonzalez. I wanted to. I guess it's either the show is this or there is no show. So you spend your whole life thinking that the world's problems are yours. Oh, you did it. And you do stupid crap. Like protest in the streets. Or tie yourself to farm equipment. Or wear a vagina hat and march down Main Street. Or eat Impossible Burgers. Or drive a gay little Tesla. You just convince that everything's your problem. Hey, guess what? The world would be good if not for you and your mistakes as a human. You voted for the wrong guy, or you didn't vote hard enough, or you voted too hard, or you didn't vote with your wallet enough, or you didn't donate to enough charities. You didn't round up enough at McDonald's or at your grocery store or at every store you go to. They're like, would you like to tip some charity that you don't have time to research, and if you don't give money to it, we'll judge you, and it's probably going to Jews. It's probably going to like the Jewish Research Children's Bodies Clinic. You know, you're like, oh, well, it sounds good. It says the McDonald's a playhouse for little kids. Well, it's probably fine, right? That's probably a good thing. You research it. It's owned by like Harvey Weinstein. And there's like horror stories of people, you know, whatever. Point is, what are you doing? You're giving your money to, like, why are you doing that? You think all the world's problems are your problem, and they convince you. You made the oceans too high. Guys, you made the oceans too high. What do you do? You voted for the guy that did the oceans. You voted for the guy that did the pipeline. You voted for the guy that cut down the rainforest. It was you. What are you going to do? Make the world perfect. It's your fault. Make it perfect. Vote for the correct guy. Oh, I thought he was the correct guy. That wasn't the correct guy. You're bad. What are you, stupid? You voted for the wrong guy. What are we doing? You have no control over this world. None of you have any control over anything that happens in this Real. You have no control over anything that happens in this world. And if you were in a position to, if by some chance, through divine intervention, you ended up in a position where you could have some say in world affairs, kudos to you, but you'll probably be strangled by a bunch of Am I gonna say Jews? What you'll probably find is that you actually don't have control, no matter how powerful you get, no matter how much money you make, no matter how influential you get. You'll find out that, oh, I still can't say what's happening. I still can't fight the power. It's not up to you. And if you wanted it to be up to you, that would speak to a flaw in your character. You don't want to run the world. But growing up in a democracy and constantly thinking that every problem in the world is your fault and you have to fix it is detrimental to the mind. It's detrimental to your body and your mind. By the time you break free of that BS, and most people never do, but by the time you break free of that, you're a neurotic mess. You never learned to live life. You spent your whole life thinking you had to fix life instead of live it. Democracy is stupid. Democracy basically makes it so everything wrong is your fault. And if it's not your fault, then it's somebody else's fault who voted for somebody else, and you get to hate them. Oh, those guys suck. Oh, those liberals, they suck. I hope you're happy. What are we doing? Also arduous.
Hey guys, just wanted to let you know I got a new laugh. Now I laugh like this. Like a kind of precocious furry creature when somebody says something funny. So, just letting you know, heads up, got a new laugh. My wife was mad at me because
Oh yeah, my wife got mad at me because whenever we go out in public and I see a minority, not a minority, but like an obvious one, like, you know, they're brand new here. I say, welcome. I go to them and I say, welcome to America. Enjoy our bountiful harvest. Enjoy the fruits of our labor. I say, welcome. When I see somebody coming in looking like they came straight out of the desert, still got sand on them, head wraps, and talking in some ancient dialect, I say, welcome to my country. You are our guest. Please help yourself. And so then my wife walks away from me. She's like, I can't be around you. And I'm like, what's the problem? I'm just saying welcome. It's not even bad. I'm being nice, actually. I say, welcome to my country. Enjoy the fruits of our labor. Enjoy. Our forefathers died for it. Enjoy all of it. It is for everyone. My wife don't like it, so I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I do that?
like a fear of death, like you don't want to die, and so you want to trust the doctor, but there's no reason to trust the doctor, you know? You want to trust the science, but there's no reason to trust the science. But you think because we got cars and phones, that now we just trust it. These are entirely different things. You're gonna die. And instead of trying to figure out ways to live longer, try and figure out how to die well. You should love them, but don't compromise the truth in your love. Know what they are. Know what Islam is. Pray for them. Pray for them to come to the true faith, the Orthodox Church. But don't sit there and pretend that they're like us. Don't sit there and pretend that that worldview is anything like our worldview. Islam is silly. Islam is silly and violent. And it's clearly just a guy's religion. It's a guy who's like, oh, well, we can't ever be, you can only have 4 wives, but I can have 9 wives because I'm a prophet. When we conquer a place, it's okay for us to wrap the women who we conquer in, even though their husbands are right there, because they are ours now. Why would you deny yourself what Allah has given to you, I think was his quote. There's prostitution, there's sex slavery, there's all sorts of things. And of course there's child marriage. And all that insinuates. It's a religion made by a guy who wanted all his needs fulfilled. And so he put God on, so he posited that God wanted him to fulfill all his needs. It's that simple. Joseph Smith did the same thing. All false prophets do this. They sit there and they invent a religion that serves them. Who didn't do that? Who founded a church in his own blood? Who died for the sins of those who hate him? In what way did it benefit him to become man and to suffer that humiliation? In what way did that benefit him? Christ is King. Jesus is Lord. There is no compromising on this. There is no compromising with Muslims or Hindus or Jews or anybody else. Christ is King. Period. Jesus is Lord.
In a garden brimming with gold and green. No mosquitoes, no predators, no need. I can see you staring beyond my dreams. I can hear you singing a song of peace. As a wave of love washes over me. See the light like diamonds shine through the trees. Every breeze whispers of eternity. I am finally where I'm supposed to be.
Next time that you see me
don't. Next time that they see me, they won't. Next time that you see me, don't. Next time that they see me, they won't. Next time that you see me, don't. Next time that they see me, they won't. Next time that you see me, don't. Next time that they see me, they won't. They won't. They won't. They won't. They